Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This week is going to be a little weird. Tim let me know that he's not going to be here. He's working on his thesis, quote unquote thesis, whatever that is. So it's going to be. I got a special guest to fill in for him. It's probably somebody who's going to be way better than Tim anyway.
Yeah, that doesn't even need to be said out loud, of course.
Yeah. All right. Hey, editor guy, go ahead and start up the music. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of As the Buckle Turns. I'm Adam, and I have a special guest with me this week. He's a friend who helped introduce me into professional wrestling, getting into professional wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mark.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you back, actually.
Wonderful to be back, or anywhere, really.
All right, let me just go ahead and bring up your audio just a little bit more.
Bring me up.
There we go. All right. Yeah, your spike looks a little bit better now. It's been almost 2 years since the last time you were here.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that long. But
No.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, and a lot the wrestling landscape has changed
Just
a lot since then.
Just a tiny bit. Yeah,
Like,
just a tiny bit.
You gave me names last time to check out or keep my eye on.
Yep.
A few of them, a name like Ricochet.
Yep, that was one of them.
I was like, yeah, he's going to be one of those flash in the pan high flyers, and well, he might, TNA or something like that.
Right,
We'll pick him up.
Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe somebody's going to be here or there. But I have this. I just happened to find this.
Yeah.
When I was looking for a notebook so I could write a couple notes about the AEW shows. And it was the notebook that has those names in it.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to, just a couple just to,
See what's been happening.
I'm an old man that doesn't know what he's talking about. Just get off my grass. Why don't you guys slow down? Jesus Christ. My talent to watch from when was this? January of 2017? Is that when we were saying this was? Yeah, so just a few guys that Dijak, his name's fucking Dijak. His name in your company is stupid. His name's Dijak. Just use the fucking name because it's awful.
What name is he going by?
Dijakovic or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, with NXT UK.
Just use it. Just use it. Who else do we have? Oh, Keith Lee. Yep. Tracy Williams. He's in Ring of Honor. These guys aren't even really that good. Matt Riddle, Will Ospreay, Joey Janela, Leo Rush.
Oh wow.
Jonathan Gresham, actually. He's still awesome. And the one that's like he's getting a bunch of stuff. I think in England and a few of those promotions is David Starr. So David Starr is another name that he will be a fucking star. He is awesome. He's awesome. So, all right, now that I'm done,
reminiscing. So, what actually caused me to reach right out to you was the fact that you posted, just a couple of days ago, pictures from AEW second show in Agganis Arena.
Yes. Yep.
Which, by the way, did you catch it? Like, I know that you've since watched the show, that you physically sat and watched the show.
Right.
Do you gotta love the amount of times that I caught all three, Tony, Excalibur, and JR, totally mispronouncing the Agganis Arena.
Oh, yeah.
Agganis.
Agganis. It's the Agganis.
I'm just like, guys, Agganis.
Yes, you got it. You nailed it. Thanks. Yeah, you would think you would want just something simple like that. That you would want to get the name correctly. Pronounce the name.
A center.
Yeah. Jeez.
I'm like, guys, we're all over the place with the names here.
Yeah. Just. Yeah. That's a whole other thing. But let's start in on a higher note than my low point of the. I wrote some pros and cons for AEW.
Oh, good.
But I was later.
Okay. We'll get back
we'll
to.
We'll get to that.
But yeah, every time I've brought you in, we've talked about the state of pro wrestling.
Yes.
And right now I have to say, for personally, State of Pro Wrestling's at probably one of the strongest it's been regarding an overall audience ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think those. I mean, I think the numbers are speaking for themselves to a certain extent. Like they say, oh well, NXT only got 800,000 viewers. Like only got like
AEW is looking at just over 100, over 1 million.
Yeah, just over. Yeah, like so it was. I mean, those are great numbers. These are smaller promotions that some people. Well, excuse me, NXT is not a smaller promotion, but it is. It is sort of like the bastard stepchild that is finally like
I like to think of it.
Out.
It's WWE doing indie promotions.
Yes, yeah, and it's really that's really what they're doing, and they just have the money to kind of buy up all the right talent.
That's the stuff that I disagree with, but
but if you can do it and you're actually using them and you're not just buying them to bury them, that's
right.
I don't I'm all for guys, I'm all for guys making money.
Mm-hmm.
By all means, go out there, make some money, do your thing. I definitely, but yeah, there are just times where you're not using somebody, and I don't like looking at it as because it's never been, at least to me, a developmental system.
No.
That was the thing that I liked about it. Indie wrestling and a lot of that style is the thing that I like about wrestling. Like sports entertainment, I don't hate it.
No.
But I don't generally want to watch it unless it's some guy that's finally made it up there and you're like, oh, that dude finally made it. All right, cool. I've been watching him for a long time. Great.
One of my issues, and I think it was TJ Parker actually was the one who said it, is that he can't go back and rewatch those matches that he had on 205 Live because he just does not feel that those were, he was an actor. He went out, he hit his spots, and he left. That was it. There was no creativity. There was no there wasn't what he loved about pro wrestling in there. He's like, yeah, Moxley had the exact same complaint. And both of those guys were part of, came up through indies where it was, no, the booker said, you two are having a match. This person's winning. Yeah. Now you two come up with the match.
Yeah, go ahead.
You pitch it back to me, and I tell you how much time you have.
Yeah, and you have a general idea of what's going on, and then you can. Some guys have more freedom than others, and I think some companies will let guys go more. Like I've been meaning to, because you know who else has a Wednesday show that they've been doing as a weekly show is Beyond Wrestling.
Yes.
And they started doing a live weekly show. I don't know what it was on, but they were doing it in Worcester or one of those. And so I haven't been watching their product, but I do know that they have some familiar names or names that are becoming more familiar. Like Orange Cassidy was one of them.
Nice.
I think he may have been a champion down there for a little while.
Really?
Yep. So
I really don't see him fully winning matches, but
it's interesting.
Yes.
It's interesting. I like him. I like people like him. He got a great reaction. I don't know how well it came across on TV. He got a great reaction from the crowd.
Yes. I enjoy him. I see he fits a niche. He's one of those guys that it's like, all right, we're going to have you around because the crowd loves you. You don't have the wrestling style to actually be like, we're putting the AEW belt on you. It's like, right now, it's like, no, you actually have to wrestle. You can't just lazily kick everyone through your matches.
Yep.
Which, by the way, Tommy Dreamer's reaction at Double or Nothing to him was one of the best things. Just like, what is this kid doing? And everyone else being like, oh! I also love the fact that the AEW audience is purely the IWC. It's the internet wrestling communities, the crowd that is like, no, we respect the product. At the same time, we do reserve the right to hijack your show if it goes off the rails. They're like, just so you know, like, this is the deal that we have.
Yeah.
Not necessarily keep us pleased, but keep us going, keep us reacting.
The IWC that's interesting. I've never just heard it given the call signs like that. Like
Oh, yeah.
as its own fucking federation.
The squared
God.
circle.
Yeah. I read some of that stuff, but some of it, I don't know. I've been a little lapsed lately, but
Yeah.
it's been a fun time to be watching wrestling, and it's a fun time to see these guys that are starting to really get, kind of get over, but really get over, and then AEW throwing a few new guys that I haven't seen, a few people that I have seen. I just think it's fun. It's a fun time to be watching.
It's a wonderful time to be a wrestling fan. I said probably 2 years ago, I don't think it was with you, but definitely with Tim, I said that this was going to be, the next couple of years was going to be either the resurgence of competitive wrestling, competitive between companies and demanding fans, and it's going to be a wonderful time for the fans, or we're going to have WWE absolutely squash everything that's around them, and we're going to have the most bland product, and it's going to slowly kill itself.
Right.
And right now we have WWE going down this path of slow cancer because it's easy to blame Vince. It's easy to throw the blame all on him.
You blame the guy at the top. I mean, do you have some responsibility? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But there's something else that's not clicking there. But too many stories about him coming out where it's just like you have a coherent product and he's like, nope.
I want this.
And then you have another product that's getting over that he's just kind of like, yeah, okay, you deal with that thing over there. Which I'm perfectly fine with. Stay the fuck out of it. Like, I just stay away from it. I'm okay with that. No problem.
I love the fact
Vince is the best Vince.
NXT has been a kind of a shining light, and it oddly enough has made Hunter, Triple H, whatever you want to call him, this almost godlike mythical creature within wrestling right now, is that he will save pro wrestling.
Right,
it's like no,
should be the hated billionaire.
Yeah.
But
oddly enough, right now, Triple H the reason he did that is because he knew who to hire. He was like, nope, put this person in this position, this person in this position. Like, those are things that I don't know the best of, so I'm putting somebody who's good at that there.
Sure. Yeah.
William Regal is a great talker and a wonderful, teacher within wrestling. We're putting him in charge as both the on-screen authority and backstage day-to-day authority in NXT. It's like, all right, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And
perfect.
Vince is over there going, let's rehire Bruce Pritchard.
Well, all right. I'll go on the Bruce Pritchard side. I like that.
I don't
like it as a thing. Like, I know he did some other things that there were other problems.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like it as somebody who's at least been in the business,
right?
Like and for a while, and can maybe help your product. I mean, they have Heyman. They have a bunch of other guys that I think are good to have there. But it's still not, it's still not making me buy a ticket to your product.
No, The Fiend was really close character-wise to finally being something that was interesting and weird to start drawing people in again. And, well, we saw how Hell in a Cell ended, and then this past week on Raw, we got Firefly Funhouse is a real place, I guess. It's not just in the mad imagination of Bray Wyatt, which would have been better if it only was in the mad imagination of Bray Wyatt.
And all reasons why I can't. Like, I just it's hard. It makes it hard, and I get it. People like different stuff. I'm perfectly fine. But when I'm looking at your arenas and you're blocking off major sections, like most of the arena,
when you're
it's problematic.
Yeah,
it's very problematic with with your show.
Well, I've always suggested that they start moving to smaller arenas.
Yes.
AEW immediately is like, yeah, no, we're not, filling a 10,000 seat arena for our weekly show. Like, that's just not going to happen.
Right.
So you limit the amount of tickets that are available, and then once the big shows come along, you will sell that because people will travel. They'll go to Double or Nothing. We've seen it already.
Right.
But WWE's like, no, we gotta sell out a 10,000 seat arena every Monday night. I'm like, no, it never works that way.
Yeah, it's not gonna, And it's good that they can. I'm
Yeah.
happy that they did. It's in the venue. It sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd is in. The crowd is engaged. There's not a lot of. There was a bit of it in the beginning matches of like the Kip Sabian and Sonny Kiss and I don't know what's the other guy, the other one with blue pants there.
Peter the
Avalon.
librarian. Yeah, Avalon.
Yeah, that's it. And there was a bit, but you can even see like this, empty seats. The first match on the card. And then you come out with the show starts with the Young Bucks and Private Party. That match was phenomenal.
Oh my God!
Match. Like I am the first person to just bust on the Young Bucks a little bit.
Okay.
I just because they have a style and they have a thing and they have a match that they do, and like that's a couple matches that they do.
Yeah.
Fine, do your thing. I enjoy watching it sometimes if it doesn't look like that, and this looked nothing like that, and they still were able to do their to do their thing and to be a tag team that wants to be a tag team and not like a couple singles wrestlers that really wish that they could be singles wrestlers, but we're stuck, we're stuck with a bad creative.
Yeah, I enjoy the fact that AEW is concentrating. It does have a concentration on tag team action based with tag team partners.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, you're not having Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman as tag team champions because you have such a creatively weak tag team division. It's like, no, these tag team guys, if you're throwing two random tag team partners together,
right,
they should be defeated by any normal tag team.
Right, yeah. Is that sort of how enhancement talent works? Like you throw two guys together and then you build up your tag team. They get to beat them up. But it's not going to be big guys like Strowman. It's not going to be that. But still, I don't know. I think we discussed a little bit off. I'll take a singles match over everything. Like tag matches are fine. 3-man match, 6-man, 8-man. I'm okay. I don't mind them.
Yeah.
This 8-man that was on Dark was awesome. Like it kind of like I just had some great stuff on it.
Yeah.
But other than that,
I mean, come on, you got. I've been paying more attention to Dark. I mean, partly because it's the last thing from AEW that I usually watch before I record. Mm-hmm. So, like, Shima has his match with Darby Allin.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a great match.
It allowed me. I had so much more respect for Darby after that. I mean, this build up with him, Cody couldn't actually defeat him in 20 minutes. The triple threat match where he didn't get pinned. I'm like, oh, they're doing a behind slow build on him where he finally gets the win and they're like, well, no, all the other opponents, like, there's only like one other person who has this other that's in the situation to even look at the championship right now. And it just so happens Darby Allin's the guy. I'm like, all right, I like it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's good. It's a good build with someone who can showcase different styles, can do the daring stuff. I've seen Darby Allin do some like dives to the outside.
Yeah.
It's just, it's really like painful to watch. And not in like in an okay way. Like, I'm glad he's okay, but you're just like, oh, did he just break his leg, or would that really look bad?
Exactly.
Like that kind of thing.
I do enjoy the guys who, throw their bodies around, the car crash guys.
Yeah.
And the stuntmen. Joey Janela is a great one.
Yeah. Janela is a great one. And then when they get in the ring and they work and, can wrestle any sort of technical style or whatever you want, that's the type of stuff that I like. Like, go ahead and do your, hardcore stuff, or do your, everybody's got to jump off the top rope now.
Yep.
Like, that's it, to the floor, whatever. That's fine. Like, but it gets done too much. Same with like suicide dives becoming a suplex kind of thing. Like,
yeah.
where you're just like, oh, okay. It's
we expect two of those in the match.
Everybody has to do that now. Like if I was there, I'd be like, I gotta do what now? What do you? Like,
Ah.
yeah, I don't know about that one.
I'll take it. I mean, I don't know about diving through the ropes.
Yeah. No.
Have you looked at me lately?
Yeah, getting like, it just seems like a recipe for disaster. But it's been good.
Yeah.
So it's been a fun thing to see stuff come up. I forgot what we were talking about. What were we talking about specifically?
Really? I think it was building off from WWE's terrible tag team division.
Oh yes, yeah, tag team. Right. But yeah, and even though there aren't a ton, but you see the reaction at the SCU got from the crowd. It's awesome. And then they get in the ring and they do their thing, and you just like, that was it was a solid match from guys who are older than me. Are they mine?
I want to say Christopher Daniels is 41, 42, okay, because he's been going 20 years, 21 years now.
Yeah. Okay,
Frank Kazarian should be 39, 40.
Yeah. So.
And I mean, Scorpio Sky is very. He's young.
He's young. Yeah. But the other two that you kind of been watching for a while, those guys that have been around through like Ring of Honor days and all that kind of stuff. It's fun to watch them now do moves that I just think look phenomenal. That looked great. Like I love Kazarian's like slingshot. The guys on the outside does a slingshot into like the Diamond Cutter or like that move. I think is cool. And Private Party's doing a new little favorite tandem move where they'll do the Hurricane Rana off the top. Guy sitting on the rope, go up, do a Hurricane Rana, and he kind of straightens out into it like a Diamond Cutter. Like that
or
RKO, whatever you want to call that. Whatever you want to call that move.
It's a cutter.
It's a cutter. Yeah. So
I mean, one of those great things about the cutter is that you can use it in any kind of fashion.
Yeah. And I like cutter. I think it fits. It's right.
I mean,
perfect.
You got Will Ospreay's Os Cutter.
Yeah.
That one still occasionally, depending on who it is on the other side of it, either looks really brutal or it just looks like it's okay.
Yeah. There was somebody that did somebody was doing a shooting star press and they jumped up and did the cutter. Was that Ospreay? It sounds like an Ospreay Ricochet thing.
No, actually, that was Evan Bourne and Randy Orton.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was an actual RKO, but Evan Bourne went for a shooting star press, and as he leveled out to do the splash, Orton popped up and pulled him down. Yeah, it's just like that. It's a too much timing. Those are moves that I just look at. I'm like, everyone worked on the timing on that.
But those are the best. Those are the ones where you're like, you fucking nailed it. You nailed it. That's it. There was another good one with actually it was Randy Orton too in the arcade, like the curb stomp. Stand up and into the RKO.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? I think it was something like that. That had good flow to it and good, a good feel to it.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. I remember bits and pieces, but most of it, if I needed to know when that happened, or sometimes, like you said, who it was with. I don't know. I just have a picture in my head of this move happening.
Like, this happened. I saw this. And
yep. That's why I listen to I'll listen to you guys or I'll hear Tim recall all this stuff and I'll be like, whatever, man.
Really? You remember all that stuff?
Cycle of fucking knowledge and shit. I smoked that shit away a long time ago.
Yes. I laugh when he will bring up specific dates for things and I'd be like, really?
Why do you know
Hold
that?
on. I'm over here, phone out, just hitting Wikipedia and I'm like, so yeah, that was actually 2 days earlier than you said.
Yeah, take that, dummy.
Yeah. Let's. I mean, we still have further complaints regarding WWE. I mean, they basically buried one talent who was champion. I'm sorry, Kofi. 9 seconds.
Yeah, I don't. I heard a little bit about this, and I was just kind of like, I don't see what. Well, I do see what you're doing. I understand what you're doing. I get what you're doing. I just don't like it or want to watch it in any way, shape, or form.
They could have done anything other than having a 9-second squash match.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
but then to be fair, everyone's gonna bitch either way. That was the time where I was surprised. I didn't realize he had held the title for that long. That's just how much I'm not specifically paying attention to that product. I went down because I was working a loadout. For a SmackDown, and then I ended up buying I bought an $18 ticket
Ooh.
to sit in one of the very empty seats.
You're like,
I had my
well,
choice of whatever seat I wanted.
I'm gonna move down a little bit.
And but Finn Balor and Nakamura were fighting. So
Nice.
So I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's an announced match. I'll go watch that. And it was, then work after or whatever. And didn't happen because my car broke down. Whole other story.
Oh.
But yeah, fuck that car. Well, it's the one I still have. So
You're like, I still love you, car, but
Yeah.
fuck you.
Right. You're 2017, man. You're not supposed to break down.
Like, not yet.
I got shit going on. Stuff to do. But so I spent a little bit of money on that, but that was more like, I'm just gonna make this money out back working, so no
Yeah.
big deal. Like, it's kind of a wash, and do the job. But I don't know. I have no interest in the product when it's close to my house.
Yeah.
It's
There was, July, they were in Manchester.
Yeah.
And,
That was probably that show. July sounds right.
and I didn't even go.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Yep. That was
whatever.
It was a SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I first heard about it, I was like, yeah, I'll put the money together. I'll get that. I'll get tickets. I was thinking about reaching out to you, and then like within days, I was like, I don't even care.
Yeah. They
Like-
announced they announced Finn and Nakamura, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. If I'm gonna work it anyway, fuck it. Okay, that sounds all right. I'm interested enough. I'm $18 interested, kinda. I mean, I'd rather it be like StubHub 6.
Well, yeah.
But,
I've just gotten to a point with the WWE product that they can announce Finn and Nakamura, and I'm just gonna stop and go, well, that's not the Finn and Nakamura that I fell in love with.
Sure, yeah.
Like, yes, Nakamura is doing the exact same moves he did in New Japan, but the passion's not there.
It's a whole different. It's a whole different feel. There's a whole different thing going on with that, which is why I'm not surprised, but like I'm happy that they can capture some of it with NXT and what NXT is doing.
Right.
That's at least part of the product that I mean, really, to be honest, I don't cancel the network because it just like it comes out of PayPal and sometimes PayPal.
Yeah,
money. It's just like it goes. And I do watch NXT from time to time, but like
I watch the
don't
pay-per-views.
Watch anything. See, I don't even I haven't even gone. I can if I hear that there's like a match or something. I might jump in and take a look, but more than likely, no. But
No.
I'm getting into my slow season now, so I have more
More
on
time.
my hands. Yeah, so it's a little got other a little more time on my hands. Got portable YouTube TV stuff, so I can actually watch more.
Well, in that case,
Random
I have a promotion that you need to keep your eye on.
Oh, okay. Tell me about this.
They've only really been around for about 14 weeks now.
Okay.
Their shows go out every Sunday. It's on YouTube, on the ZOP Gaming channel. It's the New England Wrestling Alliance.
Okay.
Great company, run by a wonderful man named Biff Stryker. This I don't even I always promote the thing. Yeah, it's every Sunday. Show's actually called Slammin' Saturdays. They named the show and secured the rights for the name long before getting a time slot.
I see. You got to
So-
go with the time slot that you get. You just got to get your product.
And
out
that's
there,
what they
man. You
did.
just got to get it out
They
there.
were just like every show is called Slammin' Saturdays.
All right. Slamming Saturdays on Sunday.
Yes, every
right.
Sunday. All right, promotions out there.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I've heard some rumblings about this.
Yeah.
I listened to a podcast about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I talked about that a little bit. Yeah.
I should probably pay attention to that
See it a little
podcast.
on the social medias.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yep. Got that.
But yeah, we need to. So in the indie scene, what have you caught, or
Okay.
what's going on there that I'm not paying attention to, or that I should be paying attention to?
What's going on there that you're not paying attention to?
I mean,
don't
all
know.
of it, honestly.
Well, yeah, that's it.
I mean,
but I will say
that's
that
me.
you guys have been doing better with like covering some of this indie. You get,
Oh, good.
You get lost in your WWE stuff mostly, Tim.
Yeah.
But it's been good. You've been kind of branching out, and
Ooh.
I feel like there's a lot to talk about. But it's all being overshadowed by AEW.
Yeah.
It's all being it's just hard to not like.
You have really 3 companies worldwide that are the big dogs right now.
Right.
At least here within the news sphere, anyway, of
Sure,
you know,
sure.
AEW, WWE, and New Japan.
Yeah.
Then you've got your next tier down. It's like AAA, Ring of Honor, TNA,
Yeah.
or sorry, Impact.
Yeah, yeah. And you got so which
Noah.
is good, but it's still you're still getting that out there, and people have access to it. That's the biggest thing is you have access to
The
watch New Japan, to watch whatever you feel like paying to watch, or whatever YouTube's telling you, or whatever it is.
The internet has been a wonderful thing to pro wrestling.
Yeah,
Like-
and also a terrible thing for pro wrestling, but
yeah.
a pretty good thing for.
I think the
Now that
pros.
I know that they're all in their own little group, the IWC.
Really, I do most of my interactions regarding wrestling through Twitter, so I
Okay.
get that community, which falls into two categories still, and it's that way with any social media. You got the side that are pro, like they're just positive. They try to find the positive in almost everything,
Yep.
and then you got the side that needs to shit on everything.
Okay, yeah.
And be like, hey, this pro wrestler said this. All right, let's shit all over it. And I'm like, wow, why?
Yeah, there's a problem with that not be there's a problem with that.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it's just
there's
kind of I get it. I get it. People want to bitch about things and kind of start shit, validate their lives somehow
Exactly.
from shitting on this person that's doing a thing that they can't actually do. But that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Just hang out there and do your thing.
I sometimes I enjoy them. So I mean, honestly, don't go to the YouTube comment section. Just regarding pro wrestling or anything, just don't go down there. Just watch the video, like it, and move on.
Yeah.
But,
you do tend to see some of the worst of us in the comment section.
Yeah.
You get all the little keyboard commandos out there, and you're just like, oh, really? Oh, good. Yeah, no, you can definitely say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And-
No, you've never done this before, never done that. Come on, man.
Yeah. But that community, at the very least, it's been wonderful to see a number of how very low independent stars getting exposure through social media.
Yep.
And then very quickly moving up because either they're cutting promos through their social media or they have a positive influence that they've been showing their in-ring action, and that's why they're moving up. That's why I keep saying that the internet's been doing a good thing for pro wrestling. At the same time, it has really been exposing a number of the old guard, if you will. Like, because we have so much access to wrestlers and stars and all that stuff, you have the old WWE product where they keep screaming that they've already killed kayfabe, but at the same time doing things that their own people in social media are doing like the opposite of. And I'm like, oh, Seth Rollins is a babyface. That's cool. He picks fights on Twitter.
Yeah, that's just basic extension of your character. We mentioned guys who are curtain to curtain. You know, like guys that who was that I mentioned before? Jack Evans.
Jack Evans, yes.
So, what a great heel. He just comes off as kind of like just this piece of crap that's that's talented in the ring, but he's just gonna talk. He's awesome. He is curtain to curtain. Every interaction with the crowd out front, he's not high-fiving anybody. He's not.
No, he's just like, screw you, I'm out.
Exactly. So there are guys that do that and do it really. Oh my God, I can't believe it. We didn't talk about him before, but MJF.
Yeah.
He's so good at it.
I was gonna ask about him, but we'll get right into him. Yeah, why not?
He would have been another one that would have made the list, like when I was like that list that I read earlier.
Oh yeah.
It was like he was starting to come in at the end of that, and immediately you just look at him, you're like, yeah, I want to punch him in the face. Fuck that guy.
Total. He is the jackass rich guy.
Yep. And he does
that
it so well.
That you wanted, like, I mean, he's the bad jock in every nerd movie. He's the guy who gave you a wedgie. I mean, on the internet, he posted with his match against Brandon Cutler.
Yeah, Cutler. Yeah.
He was saying I go work out. I don't play D&D.
Yeah.
And the entire D&D community turned on him to the point that Wizards of the Coast, the guys who currently own the rights to creating and doing D&D, they made him an NPC. He is a straight up NPC in the game. You can download his character sheet. He will be in certain books upcoming.
Nice.
I'm like, awesome.
That's fantastic.
Awesome.
We have any of that. That's great. Because he deserves it. Because I saw him in a bunch of different rings, a bunch of different groups. Like he walked into Chikara's place. They had was it a Beyond show at the Chikara place in Philly? I can't remember.
Okay.
It was a cool place to go because you're basically walking in this little. Not residential, but like just rows of garages, and then so it's just like they're fixing cars here and fixing cars there, and then you open this door and I'm like, oh, there's a wrestling ring with a weird bluish beehive thing behind it. That's weird. Like, okay,
that's
cool.
The place. All right,
we're here now. And he had that crowd going in such a small place. I've seen him in bigger venues, and he's just so good at it. Whether it's on the full-on indie level, or whether it's one of the other promotions that he's kind of, they're more kids, they're more this. He's just got it.
Good.
Yeah.
He's been I love the fact that his character is best friends with Cody. He's like, no, I suck up to the boss.
Yeah.
But I'm a complete asshole to everyone else.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm
everyone else is garbage. Love it. And then I like their little their thing in the ring where you had the little like Willie won't he hit him yet.
Is this the moment that the apprentice takes over for the master?
Right. And hopefully, I'm hoping that they run that out for a while, because there are a lot of those things that have been run out for a significant amount of time, and people are into them. I was blown away by Cody and Dustin.
Yes.
That match was really one of the best I'd seen in a long, long time. And it'd been a match that I don't know why the WWE just wouldn't do it. I think they were building towards it, and WrestleMania was around the corner. I thought, oh, that's a lock.
They did give them a match at one point, but they never built it to be a brother versus brother match. It was just like, oh, here's Cody.
Two painted guys fighting.
Yeah. It was like, oh, that's not building the brother versus brother match.
Yeah. And I think that was later down the road that it didn't. So even if I probably didn't see that, but it was like, if I did, it doesn't have the power that I thought it, because they were a tag team. You were doing the normal we're splitting up the tag team, but they're brothers, and the dad died, and you can
there was
got all
so
kinds
much
of shit there that you can do, and you just kind of
didn't
do it, and then that match was. I had one of the there was a tour dude that we were talking wrestling. His name was JR something like JD.
JD.
That's it. That's what it was.
Okay.
And so we were talking wrestling during the day, and it was before. Oh no, it was around then. The event may have happened. The first All In may have happened.
Okay.
But neither of us had watched it. It was like right around that same time frame. So. But we were talking, and he's just like, he's from Alabama, and so we got along. We got along just fine, and we would joke around about shit. And he was just super into. I don't meet many people that are super into like indie wrestling and shit.
Oh, cool.
So he was, he was all in, knew about, like all in, So he knew about all this. And we had a moment downstairs, like during whatever show it was. Like I brought back the food that they needed. And he's like, he said something to me, and I'm like, well, I saw Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels wrestle in this building. He goes, what the fuck, really? And I was like, yeah, man, they wrestled here. Like it was a house show. It was one of the best house shows I've ever seen. Like I couldn't believe that it was really like gonna happen. And the match was, amazing. And it was the build up to the 2006 retirement match.
Okay.
And he goes, "Oh man, that match just gave me." He's like, it just gives me goosebumps thinking about how well that match was done. So then we like high-fived and we hugged, and then we went back. He went back upstairs to like finish the show, and it was like, well, that was fun. Like that was a weird weird moment with the country guys. All right, cool.
All right.
Like it.
That's a thing that happened.
Yeah. And so that was it was fun seeing that, and I was texting him, and I'm like, dude, you have to see this, and like he said something about like he's like, I may have shed a tear in that match. He's like, that match was so good, it was one of the best I'd seen in I don't even know how long. So that was what I took away from, at least from All In at the beginning. I don't remember what our real question was, but
I don't know. We moved from MJF to Cody to the match with Dustin.
Yeah.
That match for me also showed that Dustin can still go at 50. Like, I think because of the fact that he was never a top guy, he never got used so much that, he'd be Undertaker at 50.
But to a degree, though, he got used a lot, though, and he got used a lot in maybe some more like shittier situations. But they really, like, he was crediting DDP Yoga for that. He was another DDP Yoga guy.
Oh, nice.
That kind of got Jericho too. Actually. Yes. Like that was, so there were a few of them that started kind of doing that, and it really like helped him out when he came back to the WWE. When I thought that the match with him and Cody was going to happen, like it was like, oh wow, he's back doing his, it looks good, like fast and awesome.
Yeah.
Like he was incredible, like just incredible. Not that he was bad before, but he was old school, like he was he was old school 90s style.
He was 90s style wrestling.
Yep. Nothing, no knocks on him, just that's what he was. But that, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm happy that he looked great the other night. He looked great the other night. Like I thought he did well. I thought that match ended up really well. I got I didn't think I told you this before. I got Adam Page is coming around, like forearm people, so I got a forearm from Adam Page. And I was like, God damn it, that kind of hurt, man. What are we doing here?
You're like, you're a lot more solid than I thought you'd be.
All right, you go in the ring, do your thing. Yep. Yeah. He's pretty awesome, though. I get somebody that that you don't necessarily see on paper. You're like, oh, Adam Page is wrestling, and you're like, oh, fucking Adam Page wrestled. That was cool, like that. It's just so good.
That was something that I've been trying to convince Tim of. That Adam Page isn't, yes, to the casual fan, he is not he's not a Kenny Omega, he's not a Chris Jericho, he's not even a Cody. But he puts in such a solid match that he deserves to be in the main event picture.
Yep. He's there. He's there, and he proved that with what was it last week? What did he have, a singles match last week?
Did he have a singles match
at all? One of the, maybe it was, I might be thinking of one of the pay-per-views. Sorry, but like
I know All Out. It was the championship match with Jericho.
Oh, okay, yes.
Which once again
was a big match. Yeah,
week one was Pac.
Oh, okay, cool. So
we finally got the Pac match.
Yep.
That was once again shows that Pac is damn good in the ring still.
Oh yeah, amazing. Yeah. He was the other guy I was trying to think of talent that didn't get used. Like, it's just just kind of discarded. Where you're like, how can you not get this guy over? Like, they did get him over as a really good heel.
That.
Like, I think
and one of the best things about him. It's just why creative over at WWE sometimes makes decisions that you stop, you look at, and you go, okay, if you were setting up this other thing, that decision would make sense.
Right.
But because you only seem to set up for about 2 weeks from now, but you have an idea of what 6 months from now is going to look like, but you only know what's happening 2 weeks from now, you're making rash decisions that don't make sense when you get
you have to change certain things, like, oh, we thought that would work in that, or hey, somebody said this random thing and it really got over. Like a little bit of the bubbly or something. Like it's whatever.
Love that meme.
Yeah, that's a good one. There's a ton of those, like shirts and signs and all kinds of shit. And,
nice.
For anybody going to an AEW show, and if you happen to be fat, up to 5X.
Really?
Yep. Still $30, I think, at the merch stand.
Wow.
I got a solid 3X shirt for $30. I was like, all right, I'll buy a wrestling shirt. I haven't done that in a long time.
Got to get myself one of those. Yeah, I occasionally find some wrestling adjacent attire.
Yeah, I the last wrestling shirt I bought, I think, was a Pentagon Junior shirt from Pentagon Junior.
Oh, nice.
At one of the no, not little. I take it back. See, I'm even belittling it. I'm even doing it. It's horrible.
Yeah.
One of the fucking great things about wrestling, the indie scene, like in
merch,
small, it's just a small VFW style hall. Actually, there was a good. I got to watch those Vice docu. Have you seen the Viceland? The Dark Side of the Ring? Have you
No, I haven't. Those? I gotta watch that now.
So there's a Viceland thing. It's 6 parts. Each part is a different thing. It's Randy Savage. It's the Killing of Bruiser Brody.
Okay. I've heard of them.
Montreal Screw Job or the Montreal Work Job.
Depends on how you want to look at it.
It has the Von Erichs or one of them. But then from there, like on Viceland, they had a thing called the Wrestlers, and they threw that on, and it was guys that like are doing well now. Fred Yehi, familiar with this name?
No.
All right, check Fred Yehi. He should definitely be. But actually, check out this thing called The Wrestlers on Viceland.
Okay.
The first episode actually had they talked with Yehi, and it was actually one of the shows that I went to in Brooklyn. And,
oh wow!
It was the same day that I met Pentagon. Pentagon was there. I went down because it wasn't even the main event, but the draw for me was Matt Riddle against Pentagon. That was
damn.
And they were doing 2 shows. It was Evolve for a little while. Like Evolve was doing it up here, where they do it with Beyond. They do like a 3 o'clock and an 8 o'clock show kind of thing. So go down to Brooklyn, see 2 wrestling shows in one day, that kind of thing. But that was one of the big matches. But I think it was Yehi and Kyle O'Reilly. I'm pretty sure was the match, and it is phenomenal. It's a phenomenally hard hitting. Is an amazing match. So they show a bunch of that in it, and they had a bunch of other cameras behind the scenes. So yeah, there was I think it was the first episode of a thing on there called The Wrestlers.
Nice.
Was 100% worth seeing. Yep. Carry on.
It was
Floated away, whatever.
Okay. All right. For me, I mean, the last wrestling adjacent shirt that I got was a CM Punk shirt.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
My day job, we fucked up a shirt, and I was like, "Well, that's a 2X. Guess who's getting that one?
Got it. That's mine." Yeah. Every once in a while, like I was hoping to get a local crew AEW shirt, but I left a little bit before the loadout ended, but still, I don't think anybody got any of them, which I was hoping.
Damn them!
Yeah. They had some cool, the guys had some cool, polo shirts with the embroidered AEW logo, and I was like, why don't I get one of those? Let me check out that.
And they're like, no,
the putting together of the ring and all that stuff was always interesting to me, and to have it be really more close up, and that pad they land on is not thick, and it's very hard.
I know that...
It's say 2 inches at the most thick, but, you can't press it.
Oh, that's the outside pad.
Yeah, the pad that they're actually landing on, what they're you got the supports underneath, but then you have boards. You have long 2x6 boards.
Yeah,
and then you have a mat. You do have a mat on it, but it is it's thin and it's pretty hard.
It's basically the top layer to a gymnast mat.
More or less, but it felt like it has almost less give. What did have some give on the floor are the mats that are on the floor. You can see that, but
yeah,
I get that when you're walking across something, you don't want to see a ton of give to it. It looks,
WCW had a few of those rings.
Being able to kind of press it, not just initially I was like, oh, let me push that with my finger and see how. I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty fucking hard. That's gonna hurt. And then I squeezed it, and I'm like, I can't squeeze my hand. It's not it's just I don't know. Oh, it was very interesting. It was a couple of little cool interesting things, some stage magic. I like that. A little bit of stage magic. Gotta have that.
Nice.
As a hand, you always want to, can't give away the stage magic.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
Because
I took a couple pictures, and the Steve Austin looking motherfucker comes up, And I was like, and he's like, hey, I'm like, oh shit, there was somebody else that was doing it too. And I was just like, I just wanted a picture. And he's like, yeah, just don't post those like today. He's like, we don't care if you post them. He's like, just don't post them before. I'm like, oh, well, all right.
Not before the show.
Like I wasn't gonna post them at all. It was more that I just wanted. So then I got even more bold. I was like, well, I'm gonna take a little video,
a quick video,
like onto the stage, and I'm like, look at me,
I'm a pro wrestler. Look at me.
Look, Ma, I made it.
I would totally do that.
Yeah. It was a goal that I accomplished. Really,
I'd strike my Shawn Michaels pose out there.
Yeah. Like, just gotta walk out and be like, oh wow. But what a great it was a great experience. They had a great crew. They had a great pretty good local crew, but they had a good crew. The touring company that they used, they were all cool, and a bunch of them were really kind of into it. Like oh, I haven't watched wrestling a whole lot, but now I get to see it all the time. He's like, this is awesome. Like,
all right.
A few of them that were really just like, and a few of like the local crew guys that were the same way, that were kind of watching a little bit and more intrigued. And oh wait, that reminds me.
Yeah.
I almost forgot. I don't want to leave without doing that. I brought you a gift.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Ho 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 ho.
I'll give one to Tim too.
Oh, I certainly will.
Give him the ripped one though.
Oh yeah. He's gonna get the ripped one. Oh my God, Young Buck money.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Straight from the stage. No beer on it. Maybe. Some beer on it. I don't know. But
oh wow.
it's very thin.
So I laugh because I watched the replay of, what is it, Matt? Matt's the younger brother, right? No, that's Nick.
Oh, I don't know which one's younger. I forget. Matt's the dark-haired one.
Yeah, no, he was closer to the hard cam side. When the cash cannons went off,
yeah.
You can actually see him know when it's coming off, because he closes his eyes and clenches for just a second. It goes off, and he's like, "All right."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I understand that.
And those things can shoot, man.
Yeah.
Those things, and there was a lot of it. There was a ton of it left over.
Oh God, yeah.
At the end, there's a ton of it on the stage. Like they had I did see one that was a little cooked by some pyro. I saw that. It was a crispy one there. Only one though. So not bad. Not too bad.
Oh, that's awesome.
But it's always a good little it's a good little thing to add to anybody's little collection. It's something you can kind of walk home with.
Oh yeah.
I love all that stuff. Like that's I feel mildly weird about picking that kind of shit up, but I got Snoop Dogg money from one of the shows.
Exactly.
Some, Okada money from one of the Ring of Honor shows, and it's just little shit. Like it's
Okada money is something that I'd pick up at. I'd just be like, "And I'm gonna grab one of those."
Yeah, they literally handed my friend Dan, because when we went to that show that had Nakamura against Adam Cole, was one of the main events. They handed him the money down the road to hand it out. So he's like, "Yep, I'm gonna throw 3 or 4 of those in my pocket from a friend." So
now I'm gonna hand out the rest.
And hand out the rest, and I think I already got 1 or 2 of them, and he's like, "I got all kinds of money left over."
Oh, that's awesome,
cool, man. So we got to give out some Okada bucks.
Oh yeah. Whenever Tim gets back up here, I'll have that waiting for him. Oh my God, yeah, Young. Of course they had it. Jeez.
Yeah. He's starting to turn on. Tim's starting to turn on his his favorite WWE.
Oh yeah,
product. So
he has
I can't
been.
Really make fun of him anymore.
No, I after his rant, if you will, that I had to cut down from 17 hours down to just an hour and a half. Yeah, that from the last episode. That I think he's finally realized that WWE is not the promised ground. I mean, I'm not saying that AEW is going to be the greatest thing ever.
No, I'm not saying. I have plenty of complaints with it. I have plenty of Yep.
I mean, most of the complaints are really coming down to a young company getting its feet underneath itself.
Yep.
Like they haven't hit their stride yet. 2 episodes, 2 TV episodes.
Exactly. Yeah.
What?
2 TV episodes and 4 or 5 pay-per-views, something like that.
5. So yes, 7.
7 total.
7 shows.
Okay. 7. Okay. Yeah.
Really.
So like it's. I mean, yeah. There's still a ways to go. I like what they're doing. I don't. There's some of it that I have to understand that I'm not gonna. That's not for me.
No.
That's not directed at me. That's not my thing. That's not. It's not. It's not me. And I understand that. But I try to be open to it. Like Pac's gonna always be good. Moxley, I'll take it. Like,
yeah,
it's fine. Like if it's gonna, like he doesn't. As long as you're not doing your like the little thing in the ropes that you do, like the as long as you're not keeping all that stuff. I mean, you can
pop it in every once in a while.
Sure,
yeah.
Why not? And I'm still not sold on Sean Spears, but good for him for making some money. I'm not. He's I don't know. He's another one that was like, hey, somebody picked you up. Great. Same with like Hager.
Yep.
I didn't know he was doing the MMA thing, so that was cool. Like, it was cool to hear that he was like undefeated there. But it's also somebody that I'll be curious to see what you can do in the ring as opposed to just standing there. But like, he was never bad in the ring, but never a guy that I was super into. So giving those guys a little thing, but then also watching like Sonny Kiss show up. Sonny Kiss got an incredible pop from the crowd.
Yes.
I'm so happy about that. I'm just so happy about having different characters, and especially in a sport that's kind of it's a dude show. Like it's this very guy thing. Like I get that.
At the same time, the AEW audience overall has just been like, no, if you work hard and are good in the ring, we will go. Yep. We will cheer you on. Yeah. I absolutely the crowd's reaction to Peter Avalon.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he's just like he's trying to use like the lowest the cheapest heat possible.
Sure. Yeah.
Like everyone knows, make fun of the crowd, they'll boo you. It's cheap heat.
Yeah.
It's
make fun of the sports team.
Yeah. It's just there for that show, and then you have to come up with something for the next show.
Yeah.
But then I mean, MJF does like they're purposely going, no, we're using these tropes.
Yeah, absolutely. MJF does it for a while. SCU would do it. They got one of the biggest pops of the night the other night.
Yeah.
SCU have shirts that say, but Scorpio Skies, this is the worst town I've ever been in. I think it was him that has that shirt, or if it's just an SCU shirt, I'm not sure. But that whole idea of just you can use all those tropes. Use them. They're there, and they're like tried and true, proven things that you can do.
It's one of the things that actually I liked about the fact that it was, the Young Bucks are one of the core group, overseeing the image of the company.
Right.
You've got Cody, who has the pedigree of all the knowledge of his father. You have Kenny, one of the biggest names worldwide in pro wrestling. But it's the Young Bucks who went, no, we didn't pull the curtain back. Vince McMahon and WWE pulled the curtain back and went, hey, look what's back here. And then you went, oh, see, kayfabe's dead. And they're like, yeah, but see, we not only ripped down that curtain, we brought the cameras back there, and that's now the kayfabe as well.
Exactly. And being able to turn that around and fucking kayfabing people like with like just getting them to be in like now we know it's a manipulated product.
We know that.
We've known that for 25 years, but to anybody who's a little bit behind on this, about 25 years ago, wrestling's fake. I still hear it all the time.
I'm supposed
to feel bad about something like, come on, give me a break.
Those are the same people that will then turn around and go, oh, I can't believe this show killed off my favorite character. And it's like,
they'll see them out and call them their character's name and be mad at them still.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't eat French fries, Voldemort. Fuck you.
It's like, whoa, that's a little far, but okay. We know that, wrestling's fake.
What?
But it's as I can continuously say on this show, wrestling is theater. I'm not here to defend my enjoy of it.
It's art. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just I can't feel I can't feel threatened or irritated by someone who just doesn't know. Or if you're watching the worst thing for a while with a lot of the reality television is people are like, I'm watching a reality show. You're like, that's not reality in any real way. That's as manipulated as if not more.
Probably.
And they're still trying to sell you on it. So you're believing this, but not.
I mean, the only way,
that's
like,
so weird.
quote unquote reality TV, just call it what it is. It's unscripted. That's all it is.
I don't even know if it's unscripted.
Oh.
I think there's more script to that.
More
shit
script
than-
than. Oh man, I bought into it. Shit.
You did. You dropped the ball, man.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just okay. I mean, you were right in front row in the Boston show, which, by the way, I love you and hate you for it. I love you because it's like, oh, one of my good friends was right there, and I get to look back on that show and go, yeah, he's right there.
There he is.
At the same time. That show was going to be my birthday present to myself.
Oh, really? Yeah.
The day tickets went on sale, I went to lunch at noon. I went outside, I sat down, I lit my cigarette, and I brought my phone up right to Ticketmaster to find sold out. I get a notification regarding Twitter, AEW sold out October 9th. And I was like, oh, come on! I didn't even get the chance to do it!
Yep.
Like, a couple of my, two of my friends at work came up to me, like, not even, like, it's a half-hour lunch. They came up with 10 minutes to spare. Like, I had been pissed off for, 15 minutes at this point.
Yeah.
And they're just like, so you get the tickets? I'm like, no, they're like, it's already sold out.
Yeah.
Which, I love the fact that AEW is selling out shows.
Great. That's great.
It's a wonderful thing to say.
Definitely.
It shows that there is a demand for them. Now, at the same time, though, NXT very quickly bragged that they were selling out shows. Now, the funny part about that is Tim has told me exactly how many people fit in that NXT arena.
Yeah, when you
300.
Yeah, when you look at that place, it's small. Like
It's
I
tiny.
can tell that it's small because you can just count the rows, and that was one thing that I was surprised at AEW. Like the side I was on was 5 rows. And it was just like that, and I think some of it was to keep people from like standing maybe a little further back. I don't know, like to leave some room back there. But there's only 5
TV.
rows on that side.
Okay.
And I was on the hard camera side. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like I was facing everything, which is cool because now I know they're all going to be working towards me. So like Jericho's doing his promo facing me. Like,
Yeah.
it was great. Like that was
That's another thing that I've really, really enjoyed about the AEW product right now. They are doing the same thing that New Japan, that Ring of Honor, and kind of TNA's been doing, where you don't do everything directly to the hard cam.
right.
Yes, you're going to cut your promo to the hard cam, but it's not John Cena picking a guy up into the AA, turning to the
him
hard
around.
cam,
Yeah.
and then hitting the move. And it's like, no, that's the WWE product that they're selling to a TV audience.
Yep.
Now, everybody else works to the crowd. So there's times where somebody will turn and point at something in the crowd with their back to the hard cam. That's what you got the other cameras for. And they're doing a good job with it.
Yeah.
The camera in the corner.
I saw it there.
Okay.
So I went in. I got there a little early. So I'm looking around, and I was like, oh, neat. They have a camera on the turnbuckle corner. That's kind of cool. And then I finally saw like the actual footage from it, and was like, oh wow, no, like that's just not. If it was
Week 1, did you see it was on the second? It was on the second turnbuckle. It was like crotch shots.
Yeah, like everything. Yeah.
I was like, okay, at least they moved it to the top this time.
The dick.
And it's crotch shot right in front of everyone.
Yeah. Man. But it looked cool a couple times. I thought it looked good a couple times.
A couple of the, Irish whips into the corner.
Yep.
That's having it on the top of the turnbuckle is actually really cool because you see, one, how much these guys will throw themselves into that corner to sell it.
Yep.
And so you finally got to see it, but the Omega and Janela being thrown into the ladder over and over again. Well, first of all, the first one I was like, okay, Janela threw Kenny into it. All right, that's cool. That's cool. The second one where Kenny like full on leaps into it.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then when Janela finally got to do it, I'm like, I know that there was a moment that they said between each other where off the first one, Janela's like, come on, you can do better than that. And does the second one. And then Kenny's like, do better. Yeah. I want to see. And Janela's just like, I'm going to throw myself halfway up that ladder. Yep. I was like, all right, those are guys in the ring pushing each other to be like, no. I mean, you're hearing the stories of Austin and The Rock being like, okay, if we get this level of pop, all right, I owe you a 12-pack. It's like two guys pushing to see who can get the crowd reaction bigger.
Yep. And that's what really kind of makes it great when you have guys that are that talented that can push that. It's awesome.
I absolutely
and it's fun to watch. Like, and I'm not a big hardcore guy. Like, I don't need tables and chairs and
no, but
I like some high flying stuff, but I don't. It's not a necessity for me. And I thought, well, it was gratuitous, but it's an unsanctioned match. I get you're putting a stipulate, you're a non-stipulation stipulation on it.
Yeah, I know.
And I understand that. So it kind of worked out well, and I enjoyed the match. I didn't feel like my problem with it is in the setup.
Okay.
That's my problem with like deathmatch wrestling. There's always some weird fucking setup that nobody would stay there long enough to get in. Ever,
okay. Fair enough.
To be thrown into like a bunch of light tubes or something like that. Like if it's just like you run across the ring and I just like throw you over my shoulder and you like fly out of the like they did it with Kenny Omega did it where it was one of those things where he just like it was a backdrop essentially that he flew out of the ring and went through a table in New Japan.
Yeah.
That they set up the table and they pushed the table, they teased the table a bunch of different times, and then you completely forgot about the table, and then this backdrop sends him through this table.
Yes.
Like that kind of thing.
You know, that for me is one of the good uses of, we'll say, foreign objects.
Sure.
Where you forget about them. Not the, okay, I just hit you 4 times, lay on the ground for 5 minutes while I set this table up. Mm-hmm. The old school ECW lighted on fire. Then we're going to set this other spot up that's going to lead you into putting me through the table. Like, I mean, it got to a point with especially the ECW guys, even in WWE, when they started bringing that over. Whoever brought the table in was going through it.
Oh, yeah. So,
if it was not immediately being used.
Yeah, you already knew the formula. That's the thing. Like, and that's the thing with, well, wrestling. There are a bunch of different formulas to a certain extent.
Yes,
but it does only extend so far. It isn't,
one of the
doesn't
things
have to be that deep.
Yeah, with Janela setting up the entrance ramp, not entrance ramp, but the stairs and doing the bridge between the stairs and the ring with the table.
Yes.
Flipped upside down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I saw that spot being set up, and I was like, Janela's going through that. This is the trope. He brought it in. They're not going to do anything with it right away because the wrong side is facing up. Like, the ref is going to come over and readjust it.
Right.
And knock it down. Janela or Kenny will set it back up so it's top, it's the top on there, and it's going to be just a backdrop over the ropes, but it's going to still be a broken table. I was just like, and then they left it the way it was, and it was Kenny, and I was like, oh, we're flipping tropes here. Okay, all right.
They were in the ring, and there was one that was the other way that Kenny landed on.
Yep.
Actually, both of them may have even landed on.
Janela's the ladder spot where Kenny rolled off the table.
Oh yeah, and that too. But that was the
that table never left the ring.
yeah, but Kenny had already hit that table upside down with legs up. Like, he got dropped on that earlier on too. So that was another.
I guess I looked away for just long enough.
There were a couple of those that it had 2 that were with the table upside down, which just makes you cringe a little bit more.
I mean, it's just that a little bit. Like, I like how it's the Lego effect. Like, I have a feeling that instead of thumbtacks, someone's going to introduce in AEW, and it's happened in CZW already.
Yep.
Someone's going to introduce a bag of Legos.
Yep.
And the crowd is going to have the same reaction that the, late 90s crowd had to a bag of thumbtacks.
Yes. Yeah.
They're just going to be like, "Oh my god."
And you're going to feel it. It's just that we were talking about before. You're going to feel it kind of like the finger thing.
Yeah.
Where you go in and you pretend like you're breaking some,
Ooh.
like you break some fingers there.
Yeah.
And I think everybody feels that. You feel that like a kick to the groin. You feel it. You feel stepping on a Lego. It's not just like it's not an abstract thing. You're like, oh my god, I've done that. I've done that. It hurts
Everyone's
so bad.
done it.
It hurts so bad. How can something so small hurt so bad?
And
they build razor blades on. They give these to children. Like,
and one of the best parts of that kind of thing is that it's not the thumbtacks which were meant to draw blood. Like, you can still do a relatively PG show, no blood, and have these hardcore spots in it.
Yeah, sure.
And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Makes sense, yeah.
I was like, I just, it's one of the things that I'm like, so the entire wrestling community is like, no, we've changed.
Turning the chairs in that match. So when Janela came off the top, instead of it being like a flatter surface, it's a spine of a chair on like chairs on your spine.
Oh,
I thought was awesome and scary and like just those like, oh my god, this is really a thing that's gonna happen. And then you see it and you're like, wow, that looked great. It looked like safe. It looked like it looked like it hurt, but it looked like it was like not like, oh my god, like that was great.
It looked
just a
Janela
really
rolled through it very well. That it made it that you go the cell of his spine hitting it, while at the same time rolling through it so that there's no actual injury.
Yeah,
like the amount of hard spots that those two guys were putting themselves through, that on further inspection you go, no, this is how it was safe. This is how they mitigated this injury.
Yeah, which is kind of the way you if you choose to look at wrestling in the way that I sometimes do, like that these are the things that I find interesting. I want the things that make me go, oh shit, and then be able to watch it again and be like, oh wow, cool, they did that. Like you watch the replay and you're like, okay, I can see where that was like. Well, how you I had written down like there was a good apron fight. They had done the Snapdragon a couple of times, and then they were out on the apron, and they kind of like there was some good back and forth. You're gonna get it. You got a couple of big ahs out of the crowd, and then did hit a nasty looking Snapdragon that in like replay looked like perfection. You're just like, that was perfect.
That's exactly how it should look.
Yep, that's how it's supposed to look. It was I love that. These are they're the things that are amazing to me. There's a little bit of like and then like building up of the shows, like you could see at the beginning the people that are, there's a couple guys that maybe they're not working as well together, or they're a little slower, they're a little this and that are getting up to speed, but then there are other guys that just get in there and go. Darby Allin, that match with Jimmy Havoc, I didn't think it was like the greatest match ever, but
no,
I thought they did some great wrestling in that. Great wrestling in that match. Great like cool arm. The cool arm drag springboard off the ropes was nice and just a well done show. And Darby Allin, either way, other than the coffin drop, other than that, I like everything. I really like just about everything about him.
I'm hoping that he settles upon an actual finisher. The coffin drop is a cool, it's a signature move of his. It's a cool spot that he can do. Having that as his finisher, I mean, that's like Martin Kirby. Like his finisher. I'm just like, it's not that devastating.
Yeah.
It's a thing you did.
Right. And I know that people are talking about Jericho's the Judas effect, the back elbow. I love it. I love back elbow. I love like a spinning like back fist kind of thing. I like those kinds of moves, and I like it as a sometimes finisher. I like it as I caught you off guard, like and knocked your ass out or whatever, that kind of thing. But I think with anything like that, you gotta go with it. But how does in the era of wrestling that you're doing in your promotion, how do you get away with having a back elbow or like the coffin drop be finishers in your. It just doesn't. It doesn't work when guys are kicking out of this like a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
I guess. You know, you can get away with that, and that's one thing that they've been doing well. Is they're not having them do it as much as they would say in New Japan or a couple other promotions with those. It's still there.
It's the quick finish.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, Jericho's Judas effect is I really like it because when he brings it out, he doesn't bring it out early. It's not like it's a quote unquote finisher, but it's not your classic finisher.
Yeah.
It's not it's definitely no Wen Wing Angel. It's no Rainmaker. It's no Tombstone.
Right.
It's not even a stunner. Like, really, it's I caught you on the temple with a back elbow and you went down. And he's like, I can only use it when I know that both of us are at that moment where one of us is going to hit that one move that just knocks the other dude out and he's not going to get back up.
Yeah.
I could hit you with a code breaker and it'd do the same thing, but I'm feeling lazy, so I'm just going to spin around.
Yeah.
It's like, I like that concept. It's like basically a straight right hand. Like, you just get one guy just goes, you know what? Screw this. One straight right hand, and you're like, yep, and he's knocked out. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
But it's not visually something that you go, that's not a finisher. Jeff Hardy's Swanton, you're like, that's not a finisher.
Yeah.
The coffin drop, you're like, that's really not. That's a good. It would be a really cool setup to a finisher. Like if he had one more big, stunty style move.
Yeah, it's like Okada in the Rainmaker. It's a clothesline, but usually he does like a Tombstone DDT and then does the clothesline. So it's not like it's like
in that combination,
something or vice versa. It's something like that. So it's I'll take that as a little more, and it's an easy move to like, almost get on, and you get the little like, oh, I almost got you kind of thing. Like that kind of quick thing too.
Yeah. But I'm waiting for the first guy to completely like duck the Judas effect or full on block it.
Yeah.
And then Jericho now has his back to the guy. It would be great if it's Kenny. Just a Snapdragon suplex right after that, then puts Jericho in the One Wing Angel. Like that kind of finish.
Yeah. It's gonna be. I think there's so much potential, and that's what I like every week with this. And you're getting some good shit on TV.
Yeah.
It's getting out there so people can kind of see like, oh, this is something it's something familiar, but it's something different. It's something that's, or it's something different than what I'm seeing on television or that kind of thing.
The fact that there's a hierarchy to every division that they've got going on right now.
Yep.
The women's division, So I'm still trying to figure out the executive vice president's roles within the company, but one that actually has stood out for me is Kenny Omega clearly overseeing the women's division. Like, he is such a fan of women's wrestling that I can just see him being like, look, I'll scout talent, I'll bring talent in. This is, and the Young Bucks are like, yeah, well, this is what we're doing for the tag team division.
Right.
Like, oh. Yeah, so, I mean, it's Riho the fact that their first champion is a Japanese woman, like, right away.
Right.
Japanese national, I'm like, WWE would have never done something like this.
I don't think they have the faith in it, really.
No.
And to go kind of against, like, what, that was looked at as an upset for that, like that. I
mean, Nyla, I almost said Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Like Nyla Rose, and I enjoy her. I look to her as she is the next generation of Awesome Kong. She's the monster in that division, and you need every division truly needs a monster in it.
Right.
Not necessarily the person that you're going to put the belt on. Right. Andre the Giant was the monster. Yeah. He technically he only held the belt once, and then immediately gave it to the $1 Million Man. And you got the Big Show, you've got Braun Strowman. Like, those are, you need that in a division to kind of stretch it out, if you will.
Sure. Yep, that makes sense.
Because you can't have everyone be the same size. I enjoy also smaller guy wrestling.
Sure, and that's something that's come a long way, and that's something that I've enjoyed that more only because they seem to move better, more technical styles,
Yep.
like technical hybrid, whatever you want to call the specific, but like more wrestling.
Yes.
And less relying on, the bulk to kind of do certain things.
We're not. We've moved beyond Hogan Warrior in WrestleMania 6.
Sure.
Where 90% of it was rest holds.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we don't do that anymore. But at the same time, like, just putting on matches that are meant purely to excite the crowd that's there to watch them.
Mm.
And that it's filmed. So, unlike, honestly, the WWE product, it's stale at this point. It needs something to light a fire under its own ass to be like, oh, well, see, we can do that.
Right.
Because of that, you have their reliance on purely big men. You're like, hey, we're gonna have another 2 big guy match, and we only know one way of booking the big guy match, and it's just a brawl. And I'm like, no, why can't you have more actual technical wrestling? Why can't you have characters who, instead of doing a match, just being like, look, I'm not getting in the ring. Like, I'm just not getting in the ring with that guy. Sorry. And that's it. Like, what happened to character development? Instead, it's, here's, over a 6-month period, here are 9 matches between these 2 guys.
Yeah.
AJ and Nakamura. Like, that was over a 4-month span, 9 matches.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And it was like, why do we need that much? Over a 4-month span, you should make people want to watch matches.
Yep.
Therefore, they don't have a match every other week building up to their pay-per-view match. And I'm like, why?
You've already blown it off. Like, what are you talking about here? And that was a match, actually, not the last time that SmackDown came through Manchester, but the time before, was AJ and Nakamura. And I went down, like, going, do I want to spend any money on this? And I'm like, it's AJ Styles and Nakamura. They're going to, like, why would I not want to? And then you're like, oh, yeah, because they've already burned me out because they'd already wrestled 5 fucking times.
And I don't know who in the back at WWE has a thing against the family jewels of AJ Styles. But that man has taken so many nut shots. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It is out of control, but maybe, he has like 4 kids, so,
I know.
Maybe he's welcoming it. It's enough. I don't need more of those.
Oh, well. Oh, we are getting close to time, though.
All right.
We got about 10 minutes.
10 minutes? All right.
Yeah.
10-minute warning. Let's see. What did I put in my notes that I absolutely need to talk about?
We've waxed poetic about too many other things.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't think I have anything there, no. Other than if we didn't talk about Jericho and a great promo. That was a great promo.
Yeah.
I like the promo a lot. And the belt looks way better live. The belt looks shiny and sparkly live. I don't know why that doesn't come through as well on TV, but it was something I really noticed when I was there. Like, just really stood out to me.
Nice. Even just like actual pictures of it, unless it's done on a super HD camera, all of the pictures have made it seem relatively flat.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird because there's a lot of stone to it. It looked really nice close up. Really did. What else? Oh, I saw Jerry Lynn.
Yeah.
Around. Yeah, Jerry Lynn was. So I always liked him. He was always one of my favorites, and he was just one of the nicest dudes I've ever met. Like, he was cool. Like,
I'm glad to see him and Dean Malenko.
Oh god.
Both were both. Both
I might
great.
have straight up marked out for Dean Malenko.
I don't blame you. I missed out on most of his career.
Yeah.
Same with Jerry Lynn.
Man.
It wasn't until, like, for me, I got into Jerry Lynn in TNA.
Yeah.
And then it was like, there's no Jerry Lynn anymore. And I was like, oh, well, what else has he done? By that point, there was the internet. And I was like, okay, I'm going to look shit up.
Yeah. And just going back and seeing his stuff. So the idea that he's in there kind of doing his thing, and yeah, it was that was a cool one that was there. I was like, oh, that was really nice to just see, And then having Tully Blanchard come out and do really well with what's his name, Sean Spears.
Yeah.
I thought he really added to that. That was a solid match. It was fun to watch.
I love the fact that, I mean, I really, really enjoyed the X Division in TNA.
Yep.
And having guys who were part of that as kind of the senior guys within AEW now. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, you got Christopher Daniels. Really the only person that there's a couple of people that they're missing from the early X Division days are like AJ. Right. Who else? Low-Key. If they could bring those guys in,
it's still like Low-Key's still legit.
I know.
He's still out there. Like, he's still doing his thing.
I'm looking at him like 20 years in the biz, and you're still as good as you were at day one. Yeah. Okay.
I just think it's I don't know. They're just those guys that are. It's still great to see. They can still go.
I'm hoping that there's going to be a secondary belt within AEW that's not your standard European Intercontinental belt, that is more of an X Division style belt.
I don't mind that. I just don't care for the division of cruiserweights, because what the X division seemed to do, at least at the beginning, was like have that,
it was
a smaller guy thing, not necessarily calling it cruiserweights. Like, I didn't want them to bring back the cruiserweight title.
No,
I think there are guys that can. I don't see any reason why certain people like a Drew Gulak can't go and do other things with that specific character and stuff like that. It just seems.
I mean, then you have one company that it fully still works with, New Japan, in their junior heavyweight division. Yeah. I think it's because they treat the junior heavyweight division as a solid, real division that they're just like, no, we don't need to constantly pull guys up to fill spots with the heavyweights. Right. They're like, no, we're a sports company.
Yeah, and it makes sense, and that's kind of what I've seen with, like, when they do cruiserweight stuff. It doesn't translate to crowd reaction all the time. It doesn't get good crowd reaction, and I would love to know why, because I generally like it. But really, part of the wrestling match there's a portion of the time where the crowd needs to at least be there. Like,
yes,
you need to at least be kind of engaged. That was one of the things with AEW, not a lot of like talking through like most of it. People were engaged with what's going on, and cheered at the right times and did their things at the right times.
Did the due diligence that the audience has to do.
Yelled one fall or some shit.
Oh, I absolutely love the fact that is still over here.
Yeah, they're still doing that. That's good.
I mean, at the same time, they do need to Ring of Honor it a little bit more if they're going to fully accept it, where when they say one fall, the announcer waits, allows the crowd to do it, and then goes. Yeah. Now, the 2 count, 2 sweet, I love catching that. I'm like, I hear it, I'm like, yes, thank you. You guys, you're into the show.
Yeah, you're there, and you're engaged, which is what I want. I just want it to be better. That's why I'm kind of like, I'm high on this specific thing at the moment, just because it's bigger and it's interesting enough. I just feel like it's gonna go the way of every other, wrestling thing that I get my hopes up about. But I try to enjoy good stuff while it's happening, and if it pushes NXT to be better, perfect.
Good,
because they've got guys that can go that I want to see wrestle. That I want to see. I want Roderick Strong to be a household name, and Adam Cole to be a household name, and whoever.
I want Velveteen Dream to be a household name.
Exactly. So you just kind of like get those people and keep going. He's got That dude, every once in a while, man, I don't know if I like him as much in the ring sometimes, but like, he's got these. He bugs me with a few little things, but that's another story for another time. But
okay.
I love the character though. Fantastic character. One of the best things I'd seen in NXT with just a simple build. Was him and Aleister Black when he was in he was there. That little that they did one match or something like. They had or two or whatever it was. They had like a good contained story that like
all it was Velveteen Dream wanting Aleister Black to say his name.
Yeah,
and Aleister Black being like, I don't even respect you enough to do that, and Dream's just like, fine, I'm gonna bother you until you do respect me.
Yep.
And then we're gonna have a match.
And like show and do and that match was great, and it was a great like just little contained thing that you can go back to at some point if you need to, there's built-in storyline there, but there was a build to it and there was a blow off for it, and everybody was happy, it went well. But yeah, so anyway, that's another story for another time,
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, that's actually going to be it for the week, man.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for checking out the episode this week. Mark, thank you for coming in to fill in for Tim.
Me.
And ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and scroll down, give us a thumbs up, then slide over, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. I'm not going to do the dings this week because Tim's not here. And then go ahead and leave us a comment.
Like the dings.
Yeah. The ding dings. Then go ahead and scroll down and give us leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you think about the current state of pro wrestling as a whole. Are we marking out way too much for AEW right now? Is there any hope for the WWE product? I honestly believe that there is hope for the product overall. I don't want it to suddenly be the financially biggest guy on the block, but at the same time totally having the worst product possible, because that doesn't help the overall. I would love for WWE to be the promised land that it should be. That guys come in, they have a quick run, and you're like, oh, I've always wanted to wrestle in WWE. Okay, cool, come in, work with us for 3 years.
Yep.
We'll see where it goes from there. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, give us a you know what? Thanks. Bye. You guys have fun.
Hey, we didn't talk about Eddie Guerrero and all the call-outs to Eddie Guerrero. You have to throw that part in, or we already did.
Yeah.
A couple of people in the audience, like Joey Janela from the top of the ladder, giving a little shake, doing frog splash. There were a few other people. It was really nice. It was really nice to see, and it got over a couple different times. Couple of good.
Yeah, it was.
Jericho mentioned the Viva La Raza thing.
Just last week was Eddie's birthday.
Oh, is that when?
Yeah.
So it was probably like right around. Yeah. That makes sense. Sorry, I wanted to say that, and that was it. Now we can go. Adios.
All right. See ya, guys. Bye.